The world watches with bated breath as the tension in the air is almost palpable. Tensions are rising between global superpowers, with military might on full display. The show of strength is both a warning and a statement. Regional conflicts simmer, threatening to boil over into something much larger. The cries for peace are drowned out by the drums of war. The question on everyone's mind, could this be the beginning of World War III? The stakes have never been higher, and the world holds its breath. The possibility, while frightening, cannot be ignored. The specter of war looms large, casting a shadow over daily life. We must examine the factors at play and understand the potential consequences. The decisions made in these rooms could shape the future of humanity. The world has seen the horrors of global conflict twice before. The scars of those wars run deep, a stark reminder of the cost of global strife. The devastation caused by those wars is forever etched in human history. The ruins and memorials stand as silent witnesses to the past. Today, we face new challenges and a complex geopolitical landscape. The advancements in technology have changed the face of warfare, making it more unpredictable. Understanding the past, navigating the present, and shaping the future requires careful analysis and a commitment to peace. It is a delicate balance, one that demands vigilance and wisdom from all of us. World War I erupted from a tangled web of alliances, a complex network of treaties and agreements that bound nations together in a fragile peace, and miscalculations. What began as a regional conflict in the Balkans, sparked by the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, quickly escalated into a global war. Nations were drawn in one by one, like dominoes falling, leading to unprecedented destruction and loss of life. World War II, just a few decades later, arose from the ashes of unresolved grievances. The Treaty of Versailles had left many nations dissatisfied, and the rise of aggressive ideologies, such as fascism and Nazism, fueled the flames of conflict. Leaders like Hitler capitalized on economic woes and nationalistic fervor. These past conflicts offer crucial lessons. They remind us of the importance of diplomacy, the need for international cooperation, and the dangers of isolationism. They teach us that unchecked nationalism, unchecked militarism, and the spread of extremist ideologies and a failure of diplomacy can have catastrophic consequences. The breakdown of communication and trust between nations can lead to devastating wars. Today, we see echoes of these dangerous patterns in different parts of the world. Political tensions are rising, and old alliances are being tested. Nationalism is on the rise in certain countries, with leaders promoting divisive rhetoric and policies that prioritize their own nation's interests over global stability, and military buildups are causing concern. The lessons of the past urge us to remain vigilant, to seek peaceful resolutions, and to remember the cost of war. The world today is characterized by a shift in the balance of power. The United States, while still a dominant force, is facing challenges from rising powers like China and resurgent powers like Russia. This multipolar world presents both opportunities and risks. Competition for resources, influence, and technological supremacy is intensifying. Economic interdependence offers a degree of stability, but it can also create vulnerabilities. Disagreements over trade, intellectual property, and cybersecurity can quickly escalate into larger conflicts. Several potential flashpoints could ignite a wider war. Territorial disputes in the South China Sea, tensions on the Korean Peninsula, and the ongoing conflict in Ukraine are just a few examples. Adding to the volatility are transnational threats such as terrorism and climate change. Economic crises, too, can create fertile ground for conflict. When nations face economic hardship, they may resort to nationalist rhetoric or aggressive foreign policies to distract from domestic problems. The rise of populism and protectionism in recent years is a worrying trend. Section 5. The nuclear threat. In this section, we delve into one of the most pressing and terrifying issues facing our world today. Looming over any discussion of global conflict is the specter of nuclear weapons. These weapons, capable of unparalleled destruction, have shaped international relations and military strategies for decades. The destructive power of these weapons is unimaginable. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki during World War II serve as grim reminders of their catastrophic potential. The sheer force of a nuclear explosion can obliterate entire cities in seconds. While they have served as a deterrent for decades, their very existence poses an existential threat to humanity. The concept of mutually assured destruction has kept major powers in check, but it is a fragile balance. The proliferation of nuclear weapons to more countries is a major concern. As more nations acquire these weapons, the risk of a nuclear conflict increases. International agreements and treaties aim to curb this spread, but enforcement remains a challenge. So too is the potential for these weapons to fall into the wrong hands, such as terrorist organizations. The security of nuclear materials is paramount, yet the threat of theft or illegal trade persists. The use of even a single nuclear weapon would have devastating consequences, potentially triggering a wider conflict. The humanitarian and environmental impact would be catastrophic, affecting generations to come. It is a threat that requires constant vigilance and international cooperation to prevent. Section 6. The power of diplomacy. Despite the challenges, there is hope. The avoidance of World War III for over 70 years is a testament to the power of diplomacy, international institutions, and the recognition that war comes at an unimaginable cost. Diplomacy, while often slow and frustrating, remains the most effective tool for resolving conflicts. Open communication channels, confidence-building measures, and a willingness to compromise are essential for preventing misunderstandings that could lead to escalation. Section 7. The importance of cooperation. International cooperation is more critical than ever. Global challenges like climate change, pandemics, and cyber threats require collaborative solutions. Working together to address these shared challenges can foster trust and understanding between nations. Institutions like the United Nations, while imperfect, provide a forum for dialogue and conflict resolution. Strengthening these institutions, upholding international law, and promoting multilateralism are crucial for maintaining global order. Section 8. Choosing our future. The future is not preordained. We have the power to choose peace over conflict, cooperation over competition, and diplomacy over war. It is a choice that requires vigilance, wisdom, and the courage to stand up for what is right. Each of us has a role to play in building a more peaceful world. We can challenge warmongering rhetoric, support organizations working for peace, and advocate for policies that promote dialogue and understanding. Section 9. A call for peace. The world stands at a crossroads. The path to war is well-trodden and familiar. The path to peace, while more challenging, offers the only hope for a future free from the horrors of global conflict. Let us choose wisely. Let us choose peace. The world has come too far to let the mistakes of the past dictate the future. Let us learn from history, embrace diplomacy, and work together to build a more peaceful and prosperous world for all.